Imagine a world where education is no longer confined to four walls and a blackboard. What does this future hold for us? In the here and now, the landscape of education is evolving rapidly. Traditional classrooms, once the cornerstone of learning, are being challenged by the limitations they impose. Limited resources, geographical constraints, and a one-size-fits-all approach to teaching are just a few of the hurdles we face. The reality is, our world is changing, and with it, so too must our approach to education. Enter the concept of digital classrooms, a potential game-changer in the world of education. Picture a future where learning is personalized, dynamic, and accessible to all, regardless of location or circumstance. This is not a distant dream, but a tangible possibility that technology is bringing within our grasp. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this exciting and transformative topic. Before we dive into the future, let's take a moment to understand our past, the traditional classroom. Picture it in your mind's eye. A room filled with rows of desks, a teacher at the front, chalk dust in the air. This is where most of us began our educational journey, and it's the model that has held sway for centuries. In these traditional classrooms, the teacher was the center of learning. They were the source of knowledge, the disseminator of information, the one who guided us through our academic pathways. This teacher-centered approach has its merits. It provides structure, consistency, and a clear authority figure to maintain discipline and order. Fixed schedules were another hallmark of the traditional classroom. School started and ended at the same time each day, and there was a set timetable for each subject. This routine offered predictability and helped students to develop time management skills. Yet it also imposed a one-size-fits-all approach that didn't cater to individual learning styles or speeds. Then there were the standardized tests. These tests were designed to measure students' understanding and retention of the curriculum. They served as a benchmark for academic performance and helped to ensure a certain level of proficiency among students. However, they also put pressure on students to perform and often prioritized rote memorization over critical thinking or creativity. Lastly, the physical infrastructure of schools with their classrooms, libraries, and playgrounds created a focused environment for learning. They fostered social interaction and collaboration among students, but they also limited access to education to those who could physically attend and did not always accommodate for students with special needs. These elements of traditional classrooms, teacher-centered learning, fixed schedules, standardized testing, and physical infrastructure have shaped generations of learners. They have provided a solid foundation upon which our educational systems have been built. However, they also have their limitations, particularly in a world that's rapidly changing and increasingly digital. While traditional classrooms have served us well, they may not meet all the evolving educational needs of the 21st century. Now, let's explore a radically different landscape, the digital classroom. This is not your typical classroom with desks and blackboards. It's a virtual space where learning happens at the click of a button, where geographical boundaries melt away, and where a plethora of knowledge is available at your fingertips. Imagine the flexibility it offers. Gone are the days when education was confined within the four walls of a classroom. With digital classrooms, you can learn at your own pace from anywhere at any time. It's like having a personal tutor available round the clock, ready to cater to your unique learning style. And let's not forget about personalized learning. Digital classrooms facilitate tailor-made education, adapting to each student's pace and level of understanding. This personalization allows students to delve deeper into subjects they're interested in while also providing additional support in areas they may struggle with. Then, there's the aspect of global access. With digital classrooms, a student in a remote village can learn from a top-notch professor from a world-renowned university. This democratization of education has the potential to level the playing field, providing everyone with equal opportunities to learn and grow. But as with all things, there are challenges too. The digital divide is a significant issue. Not everyone has access to reliable internet or the necessary devices. We need to ensure that digital learning doesn't become a privilege of the few, but remains a right for all. Lack of social interaction is another concern. Learning is not just about acquiring knowledge, it's also about developing social skills, empathy, and understanding different viewpoints. How can we replicate these in a digital environment? And finally, there's the question of online safety. With increased digital interaction comes the risk of cyber threats. So how do we safeguard our digital classrooms? Clearly, digital classrooms offer exciting possibilities, yet they also present new challenges that need addressing. As we navigate this new frontier, it's crucial to balance the benefits with the potential pitfalls to create a learning environment that's not just effective and efficient, but also safe and inclusive. Now that we've seen both sides, it's time to compare traditional and digital classrooms. Let's start with teaching methods. In a traditional classroom, the teacher is the source of information, and learning is often a one-way street. Conversely, digital classrooms enable a more interactive and personalized learning experience. They leverage technology to facilitate multimedia presentations, online discussions, and adaptive learning modules that can cater to individual learning styles. Next, let's talk about accessibility. Traditional classrooms require a physical presence, which might not be possible for everyone. There could be geographical constraints, health issues, or other commitments. On the other hand, digital classrooms are accessible from anywhere at any time, as long as one has an internet connection. This opens up education to a wider audience, including those who might have been excluded from the traditional system. Flexibility is another point of comparison. Traditional classrooms operate on fixed schedules, which can be inconvenient for those juggling multiple responsibilities. Digital classrooms, however, offer the flexibility to learn at one's own pace, at a time that suits them best. This makes education more adaptable to the modern, busy lifestyle. But what about social interaction? This is where traditional classrooms shine. They provide opportunities for face-to-face interaction, group activities, and real-time feedback. These experiences can foster social skills and emotional intelligence. Digital classrooms, while offering avenues for interaction through forums and video calls, can't quite replicate the interpersonal dynamics of a physical classroom. As we delve into this comparison, it's clear that each format has its unique strengths and challenges. Traditional classrooms offer a structured learning environment with rich social interaction, while digital classrooms provide unprecedented accessibility and flexibility. However, it's important to note that this isn't a competition. Rather, it's about understanding the unique advantages that each brings to the table. The future of education might not be about choosing digital over traditional or vice versa. Instead, it could very well be about creating a blend, a hybrid learning environment that integrates the best of both worlds. As we can see, both formats have their strengths and weaknesses. The future might not be about choosing one over the other, but about integrating the best of both worlds. So, what does the future hold for education? As we navigate the waters of this new era, we find ourselves pondering this question. The answer might just lie in a blend of the old and the new, a seamless fusion of traditional and digital classrooms, a hybrid model, if you will. This isn't about replacing one with the other. Rather, it's about finding the best of both worlds and marrying them into a powerful learning platform. The role of technology here is not to replace the traditional classroom, but to enhance it. Imagine a world where technology magnifies the impact of traditional teaching methods, a world where students are able to access learning materials at their own pace, where they can revisit complex topics as many times as they need, a world where teachers can track individual progress and customize lessons to cater to unique learning styles. This is not a far-off fantasy, but an imminent reality. But let's not forget the importance of human interaction in learning. The digital classroom cannot and should not replace the warmth of a teacher's smile, the joy of a collaborative group project, or the spark of an in-person debate. These moments, these connections, they're vital to the learning experience. In this hybrid model, we see a future where technology serves as a tool, not a crutch. It's a means to enhance, not replace. It's about using technology to elevate the educational experience, not diminish it. The future of education is an exciting blend of traditional and digital elements, each enhancing the other in a dance of progress and innovation. It's about using technology to create an environment that is engaging, personalized, and accessible. So, as we look to the future, We see a world where education is not confined within the four walls of a classroom or the boundaries of a digital screen. It's a world where learning is fluid, dynamic, and ever-evolving. The future of education is not just about technology, but about how we use it to create a better learning experience for everyone. Before we end, let's quickly summarize what we've learned today. We've delved into the nuances of traditional classrooms, acknowledging their strengths and limitations. We've traveled to the digital frontier, where technology is transforming the educational landscape, making learning more flexible, interactive, and personalized. Next, we compared these two educational models, highlighting that while digital classrooms offer innovative tools for teaching and learning, they do not render traditional classrooms obsolete. Instead, they complement one another, forming a blended learning environment that harnesses the best of both worlds. Looking forward, we've envisioned a future where education is not confined to four walls or limited by geographical boundaries. A future where everyone, regardless of their location or circumstances, has access to quality education. Remember, the goal is not to replace teachers with technology, but to empower them with it. As we step into this future, let's strive to make education more accessible, engaging, and effective for all.